Hello everyone. Today we're diving into how to do research. Since economics is not my field and I just research based on secondary data, we're going to talk about that a little bit. This is going to dive into how we do research and how we classify it. First of all, you need to understand something of structure parameters of research, how I do personally. There's better ideas out there, but then this helps you figure out, like, based on your mind map, how to map and how to search and how to acquire information. First of all, you need to have hypothesis. Then you need to understand what your procedural map is, or for some it would be the variables and research methodology and literature review. For me, it's all in the procedural mapping. Then comes the research based on secondary data. Then comes validations and exceptions, right? What we're trying to do right now is very simple. What we're trying to achieve here is something like this. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this. I prepared this for you right before we started. So we have impact of coronavirus on Nepal's economy. Learn the research episode 2. If you don't know how to set this all up, it's explained in episode 1. So as I said, there's no introduction. We need the hypothesis. So as I was explaining, there's the type of hypothesis, then there's the procedural map, then there's the research based on secondary data, and then there's the validation and exception. We're on type of hypothesis, right? So let's say our hypothesis currently is the outbreak of coronavirus will lead to severe economic repercussions in Nepal. So economy and restructuring the economy will be necessary for a better future. That's our hypothesis, right? So first of all, you need to understand what a hypothesis is. So let's say types of hypothesis. That's the easiest way for me to explain it to you is Google it, right? So you have multiple types of hypothesis. This is just given off of a website. So you have the simple one, you have complex, you have empirical, you have null hypothesis, you have alternative hypothesis, you have logical, you have statistical, right? And you have dependent and independent variables. For me, this is more on the procedural map case, but then again, I don't use the traditional methods of doing research. So let's dissect our hypothesis at this moment, right? First, we need to figure out the outbreak of coronavirus will lead to severe economic repercussions. We need to figure out data to explain this, right? For this, you need to figure out how you can correlate this to different other past events. So what are the past events in Nepal that have impacted us in general, that are natural cases? So first of all, your parameter are figuring out past cases of natural disasters that have impacted Nepal's economy, right? So you need to put some data here, okay? So right here, if I explain this, yada yada, in this section you need to figure out what are the past experiences or past impacts, those kind of things. So you need to put all your data here. Let's say earthquake, it's the big one, then the flood, then a couple of years ago there was diarrhea epidemics. So you need to write these down, right? With the easiest one. And then you need to explain this part, right? Then you have the key variables of Nepal's economy. So the economy part, the economic repercussions, this will give you that, okay? Key variables in Nepal's economy. Now for this, I've chosen to go into Google Scholar, right? And click here and do this, see, I've already have those things lying around. Now choose as early as 2019 or 2015. Go back as much as you want if you want projections or some sort of like that. So using those, I found these things, right? So using this research, I found the economic development, GDP, and PCI, per capita income, are what impact Nepal's economy, right? And based on this research, and what I've done here is on number 3, I quoted this, right? So let me write down. There's 2, 1, and 1, 3. Okay, I've written down those things. I missed that. Let me just write down 3. I know where I'm gonna get the 1 from. So yeah, this is the one I found. If you don't know how to get that, was the earlier video, right? So the other one that I saw was this paper, right over here. Linkages between real sector and finance sector in Nepal, right? If you see here, between finance sector and real sector. So I've currently referenced that over there, right? So this is very easy. These are like the easy things to do, right? Okay, and I'm going to reference this one too, because I'm gonna use this distribution right here in their data, and yeah, so I'm gonna use that. Now, what are the second part? Restructuring the economy. For that, you need to understand what are the different sectors of what are different sectors in Nepal. So restructuring individual GDP contributing sectors. If you were in Bhutan, they don't measure your life's, they gross national happiness, GNP, instead of using GDP, they use that. So these are the 4 things that you're gonna do. The first part, for that you need evidence. So for that you need to use this. For this, I think I'm gonna use the World Bank's data, and I'm gonna quote that, and I'm gonna put that over there. And for this, I've already put this down. So for this, and this is relationship between finance sector and the real sector. So that's for restructuring the economy and better future. So for that, I'm gonna use their secondary data right here. So this chart is very, very useful for me, and I'm gonna con that. For that, the restructuring and all of this, I'm gonna use this. Now for this, because I see it much more visually, like I said, I've developed this, right? So you have GDP of Nepal, and if you look at this distribution, right, curve right here, you have all of these areas, right here, and this is a chart. Since I'm using this, I can use this as well, right? So as always, you know, I don't think I need border width at this moment. I've done something wonderful here. That's why I'm not using border width. Okay, so for that, now for procedural map, right? Yeah, science. See, I'm all about using my logo and self-promotion. So yeah, I have this. Now, how my works for this is I'm gonna use another one, okay? So I'm gonna make this giant. Oh, it's interesting. So I have the canvas right here with the given, you know, borders and everything else. And if you look at this one, there's this white border around here that's gonna give me, and then I have my logo over here. The color of that logo has splashed all over there. So now my procedure goes very simple. It's very elegant. Very elegant. Border, font color. Let's say first you wanna, what's your first step? What you wanna do is first you wanna figure out examples. This is how I'm going. Examples of impact from natural disasters in the economy. Boom. Okay. I want it to look good. From here, it's better that way. From here, you want to go and duplicate that, and then you go from here, like I said, based on how I think, then you go and figure out, relate this to the how those key variables that impact Nepal's economy. So you need to do, what you need to do is you need to relate this, right? You need to relate these things. So you need to relate these things, right? Should be two parameters. So you need to understand, for this particular research, right? You need to understand. So the relationship between these two. So what you do is, it's very easy for you guys to see once I explain it to you in terms of how I'm visualizing it. Step 2. So for me now, step 3. So you do that, right? So you have step 3. Where do you go from here next, right? What you do is you duplicate this. Step 4. What you going to do when the cops come for you? So you need to figure out the relationship between finance and real sector, right? So you're going to use this data. Finance. Real sector. From there, you're gonna duplicate this. You can come over here. You can do this. You're gonna go, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna restructure individual GDP contributing sectors, right? Sectors, and then from there, what you're gonna do is duplicate and you're gonna do validation and you're going to do validation, and like I said in the structure slide, you're going to do the validation and exceptions part right here. Exceptions part. Then you're going to draw out a conclusion. Do I need that? No. Step 8. Conclusion. So boom. There you have it. Perfect thing right here. That's our procedure map. That's how we are going to see this research, right? Boom, shakalaka. Okay. Ooh. Snap. Okay, what I'm gonna do is pretty simple over here. I'm gonna paste it. Okay. Boom. So yeah, right over here. You can do that. I think be better. So yeah, you guys figure out what I'm trying to do, right? Oh yeah, since this one's a square, I don't want to bring a square here. Two back. Boom. Solved. Solved. Okay. Yeah, my thing is littered this kind of bullshit right here. So yeah, that's how it's gonna go. And then from there, what you're gonna do is for data, you're gonna use secondary data, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use all the research that they've used here. All the research that they've used here and everything else, you use that over here. And then you use this over here, right? And it's very easy for you. And one more thing. Now this is of really great importance. What you need to understand is when you're trying to do research like this, now conclusion and everything else, you're gonna have to write that down on your own, okay? What is the most important thing right now is you're not only actually doing research in terms of what you've given to the internet or to the world. What you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out how this has impacted Nepal's economy, okay? That's the target you want to go to. I'm not personally interested in doing research on this because there's already other types of research being done. I think there was this actual company research on coronavirus impact in Nepal. Nepal's economy. Somebody else has already done it. Okay. Yeah. somebody else has already written a paper on this. I think so. I don't know. So right here, if you see this, a lady named Jyoti Koirala has already written on this on March 24th, no less. Okay, I'll let you on a little secret. To download this, you need to sign up, which I don't want to do. So if you go to ResearchGate, if this author has indeed paste. They're validating the server and everything. Boom. Right here. See? I don't need to do research. They've done it. See? Now you can use this as well for your research, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, right? And that's going to go into number 5. So that's basically it. If you're trying to do this research, if you're trying to follow these are the key tools. From next episode on, I'm not going to do some economics research. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do things that I like personally, okay? I'm going to talk about things such as science and everything. I'm going to talk about how to, figure out like making devices and all of that, things like that. More science based, not economics based, because that's not my area. I'm just giving you an intro into that. And the last time somebody who did watch and enjoyed this content was somebody in the economics area. So, it's for them. So for today, this is it. I'm not going to publish or do anything because I'm not an expert at it. I was just giving you an opinion. So next time when we talk, we'll be much, much more better to discuss about. So those are this is just the intro video into tools and everything. Since episode 3, I'm actually going to provide much more info into how we can actually combine this and create a better products, or just do research on like making actual devices and everything. Okay, so yeah, so that's how you do it. So for now, it's a goodbye. Okay, bye bye.